There we go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So anyway, our word for this month is philosophier. And Marion wrote the article. I'm really excited about the article. And because that it's to me, it's just who we are. And I wanted to say more about that, but let me do a quick acknowledge everyone that's on the call. And I'm pretty sure all of you know each other. So we have Marion, who wrote the article, and our VP of marketing. And then there's Joanne. I'm so happy to see Joanne because I've been calling her and calling, and I was getting worried, and Marion called her, and then she popped on the call. But her phone is not working. She has a new phone. And so
it's not working right. I'm probably doing something wrong with it. I got to get my daughter over today and get her to.
Yeah. And Joanne is the person that sent the cards out, as I'm sure you know. And she wrote the book on forgiveness, which was endorsed by Desmond Tutu. One day we're going to get her to tell that story. I know she told it, some time ago, but that was amazing. And she just kept after him, and he finally, okay, all right, okay, yeah. But she had that vision, and she didn't stop. So that was amazing. And
but he didn't say no. Other people said no. He didn't say no. He said, I can't right now.
Right.
No, I can't now. I'm too busy now.
Yeah. And you didn't take that as an insult. You took it as, okay, I'm going to keep following up until you're not busy. So that happened. And then we have Dr. Denise Strong, who is in New Orleans. Denise has been so instrumental while I was in New Orleans for 2 months, working with the city and community leaders. We've done we visited the sheriff office, the 2 schools that are left in the Lower 9, and putting together programs to reduce the crime, and also with the kids to have them be international leaders. The school gave us about 25 kids to work with, and it's just been amazing. And Denise been going with me to a lot of those meetings. And I thank you so much, Denise. And we've been both of us been eating. Every time we met, we ate. It's been amazing. And I was living with my mom, and my she has 2 of my brothers that stayed with her, and another brother lived right down the street. So I have been living for 2 months in a restaurant. It's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whatever you want. What do you want to eat today? I've had the best of the best. So I'm walking off my 10 to 15 pounds that I gained. I'm trying to walk it off while I'm here. But we've been doing some great work, and I'm really pleased that at the leadership in New Orleans and how receptive and open they are. And Denise can vouch for that. Okay, so then we have Irma, who just left the United States. How long you stayed here?
I was there about 5 weeks.
Yeah, you stayed a long time too. How's your mom?
Well, she's doing better. I'll know more tomorrow. She's out of the hospital, so we'll see.
Yeah, but I think everyone knows that Irma lives in Paris. Yeah, she used to live in the United States, and also worked at Tulane University in New Orleans at some point. From what year to what year you worked in New Orleans?
Let's see. I think I was there from 86 to no, sorry. No, 86 to 90.
Okay. Great. That's awesome. And she worked for UNICEF too. I saw with the United Nations background while she was talking. She was into it too. I saw a video of you on a website, and you were like, "Don't play with me." Listen, you could tell her, you could see her leadership. And then we have Dr. Marcia Campton, who has also been very instrumental with helping us with the schools in New Orleans, and been on the calls with us to, begin the programs. And I really appreciate you. And she is right outside of San Francisco by the airport, but it's considered San Francisco too, the San Francisco area. Oh, thank you so much for all that you do. She's a professor at San Francisco State University, and area of education and a background in nursing and health.
Awesome.
Yeah. And she's so humble and modest, but she's such a powerhouse.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then we have
everybody.
Connie, who is in Florida, who just put together a packet for her project. And I'm just so proud of you, working with veterans and doing so much in the world to help people. And with her beautiful son and her husband.
We want this to be a pilot project that can be replicated. We just don't think anybody should be homeless.
Yeah.
Not when there are 11 million shipping containers and they're actually melting them down, but then the Department of Defense, because they have so many and they can all be repurposed, and we want to make them smart homes so that with neurotherapeutic technology, they can help with post panic attacks, etc. But this is going to be so good for seniors someday, because it will also help with dementia, Alzheimer's, etc. So that's what we want to do.
That's a beautiful, beautiful vision. I'm so proud of you, Connie, because you keep going and keep smiling no matter what.
Well, you inspire me. I mean, what you've done is just beyond remarkable. All the women here, all of them are just so impressive and inspirational. So it's a wonderful group to be part of.
Yeah, God put together the best of the best. So I'm really inspired by that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So getting back to the word that Marion chose and wrote the article for, velocifier, which means I had it and it got lost.
It's okay. You want me to tell them?
Yeah.
It's a term that combines velocity,
yeah,
which is
speed,
swiftness and speed, with fire, which is the blazing intensity with our passion and our energy.
Yes. Thank you. I was looking for that word. I know it was speed, but I didn't want to use that word, but yes. But anyway, thank you, Marion. That's when we got each other's back. Love it. So what I thought about is what the article talked about is what the scripture says too, is being in a world like this really helped define it. Being in a world, but not being a part of the world. Like the world is about, a lot of confusion. People being, running after money, and greed is the word I'm looking for. Being greedy and not in integrity. and doing things it caused confusion and frustration. But for us, the way we live is we do get frustrated. We do go through crisis. We do go through all of those things, but how you handle it is where the power is. Having our one of the words we had about a year or two ago is equanimity, like having peace and quiet no matter what happens, that we get through life in a different way, to learn how to deal with crisis as how God leads us, as opposed to getting in the frustration, getting in the craziness. So one example is I did go craziness. I know you did too, Irma, with your flight back. It delayed 10 times. It was very frustrating. We were on a plane for 2.5 hours with them trying to fix the plumbing in the bathroom. And after 2.5 hours, they told us we had to get another plane. Then they told us, and I took a picture of it, so I have evidence, that that was after 2.5 hours, it was like 7:30. And my flight was supposed to leave at 5:07. And they promised us $244 reimbursement for the inconvenience, because they kept saying, they said that the plane was going to take off at 8:20, and they canceled that. They had it on the screen, and I got in line to get, it said 8:20 to San Francisco, and I got in line, and then my ticket didn't, when they put the screen, the little light on the ticket, it gave me a red sign, bop. And they said, oh no, this is going to LaGuardia. Like, what? So it was so much confusion. Then they say you could get a hotel. We went, talked to the attendant. He said, well, we just sent a voucher. You could get a hotel or and get some food. Check the voucher. It didn't work for 3 days. You couldn't access it for 3 days, and people were so frustrated. Then they delayed that flight. It was 10 times the flight got delayed.
What airline was? What airline was that?
That was Frontier.
Okay.
Then they wound up taking the $244 back and saying, oh no, we're just going to give you $75 for your next flight on Frontier.
Boy.
In the next 60 days, you can use it.
But you were able to rise above the circumstances.
Yes.
And God gave you someone else.
Yeah, it was really, really crazy and frustrating. And so I saw this lady sitting, she just sat down on the floor where you could, where we're gonna board. They did have that. They said, this is where you're gonna board. This is the gate. And she said that I went and sat down next to her. I had just got some Popeye chicken. I was trying to remember New Orleans for the last time, but I had just got some Popeye chicken. And I sat next to her, and everyone was complaining and angry. And so she said, they can complain and everyone's complaining, but it's not going to make a difference. I said, you're right. I said, we're living in our own movie. And she just laughed. So she started sharing that she was going from Atlanta to San Francisco to see her granddaughter, and her granddaughter had paid for the ticket. And we started talking, so now we need some popcorn for this movie. We turned it around and we laughed and talked, because there was nothing that we could have done to change their circumstances. So we just went with the flow, and we laughed. And so when it was time to board, we we were close so we could get first. And then people got into formed another line, and we were like here. And I said, we just see, I'm not getting at the back of the line. We'll just merge in. So I was up first. And then I turned around. I said, oh, sister, you can get in front of me. And she said, oh, no, go ahead, sister. I'm right behind you. So it turned around, and I laughed and talked with that lady. We got on the phone, on the plane, sat in different seats. And then I saw her again when we got off she was looking for the exit doors, and told her just go to the baggage claim, and the doors were there. So she was on the phone and with someone trying to figure it out. And she said, oh, my sister's here. So it turned out okay, because I let go of the frustration and the confusion. When we let go of those things that we're in, when we get frustrated, it just stop and find. One of the things that Pam taught me, and Pam, for a few of you don't know Pam, but most of you do, is to find something you can be happy about. One thing is, whether it's a song, whether it's a situation, whether you just finally bought your favorite soap that you couldn't find, and it's right there in front of you, your favorite cup of tea, and focus on that thing that make you happy. Keep focusing on and keep till you break that thing inside of you that's frustrating, and you just laugh, you let go, find what you could be happy about, and then be thankful. Start thanking God for I'm still here. I am powerful. I am doing these kind of things. And don't worry about the things that you haven't done, because they don't matter. Who you are matters. What you're up to matters. The future matters. The rest of the day matters. And I love this word philosophier, because it says that we could get through it. We are powerful enough. We don't have to give in to frustration and craziness. And we know that that's going to happen. It might happen when we get off the call, something crazy, but then you know how to get through it. You walk through it with equanimity, which means having peace no matter what's going on, and to just be happy and turn situations around to good and laugh about it. And that's when you get your peace and your happiness. It's not in the craziness. And then for some reason we grow from when things don't go right. So sometimes doing projects, sometimes we have someone in our lives, we have a grant that's pending, and we're depending on a grant. We're depending on someone gonna give us a contract. All of those, you're dependent on that. And are you dependent on someone said that they're going to give you a certain amount of money by Friday? Just making that up. And then when that doesn't happen, we go, oh no, this is just I needed that. So instead of saying that, just say, okay, this is for a reason. I don't understand it. I'm gonna let go of my frustration. And the faster you let go of the frustration, the better. Because God has another plan, and it's bigger and it's better than I thought. And if I had gotten that money, it would have kept me all on a different path, on a pathway that I'm not supposed to be. Because we're all up to some really great things. So learn to let go of the things we have no control of. So I said, oh, something better is coming. Something better is coming. Let it go. The faster you could let go of those things, the better you could be in your equanimity and happiness and joy, because none of that matters. the future matters. The next minute matters. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I want everyone, I would like you to share something that you went through and how you got through it. And when you look back at it, it was not either something you had to go through to get to on another path, or you learned from it, or you realize that it wasn't right. Okay, Marion.
I just had something quick to say in regards to the article, and following up, of course, what you've said. I guess the thing that mattered for me was looking at all of the projects that we have and going through your day and getting frustration and closed doors thrown in your face. I had to change my perspective from the moment I opened my eyes. And I found that the minute I open my eyes, you say, thank you, God, for giving me another day, because we don't take anything for granted. And then I learned that not only starting my day with God, and it can even just be 4 or 5 seconds, could be 4 or 5 minutes, whatever you have time for. But if you hit the ground running and you have all your to-dos and you got stuff to do, and you forget to say, dear God, dear Lord, just, I'm giving you my day. Guide me in the path that you want me to go. Give me the people that I'm supposed to be with. And then affirm all the things that God has given you. Just do it real quick, 2 minutes. And I just find that if you tell yourself, I'm healthy. I'm healthy. Speak healing to your body. I'm filled with God's philosopher. I'm filled with his energy and his power and his healing. And if you start your day that way, you'll find God's going to open so many doors, and he's going to give you so many blessings. Just like Valerie said, she was sitting in the midst of 10 flight delays. I mean, these people are probably just coming unglued. But you know what? It's like she had been texting me, and I just prayed for her. I said, dear Lord, she's got another 3-hour wait. I can't believe it. She's going to have a nervous. Please just make it right. And there's that woman sitting on the floor in front of her right by the gate. There she is. And what they did was, because they had the Lord and had God in it, they were able to rise above the circumstance.
Yeah.
And not just say, it's raining cats and dogs, we're delayed for the 15th time. No, it's going to be okay. So what if we're late? So what? We still have food. We still have water. We can still, go to the restroom. And anyhow, that's all I wanted to say. The difference between starting your day with God and starting your day just by yourself and going off and doing your thing.
Yeah.
There's a difference. And I challenge you to do it. If you don't do it every day, try and just squeeze it in and see how your days improve, and God gives you what you need every minute of the day.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And thank you for raising your hand for your input. I really appreciate it. I saw a video a few days ago of a lady, pastor, evangelist, that was speaking, and she said pretty much what Marion said. She said, but when you wake up, thank God, praise him, whatever your prayer, before you get out of that bed. Because once you get out of that bed, It's over with. She said, but before, when you wake up, begin to praise God, begin to thank him, begin to even forgive those people that you were angry with the day before, or even those people you've been angry with for a while. You know, learn to do that before your feet hit the floor. And one of my friends in New Orleans told me a while ago pretty much the same thing. That was Rose Lane, Denise.
Oh yeah.
And Rose said, if you wake up and you feel like a heaviness or a burden or things that not, she said, don't get out of the bed with them things. She said, just keep praying, say the Our Father prayer over and over again, say the 23rd song until that thing breaks. Don't get up with that heaviness. Don't step on the floor with those things following you through your day. She said, learn, start your day until you can feel a peace and happy, and then get up. So I remember, Rose told me that, and I make sure if I find myself like that, and then I get out the bed, I go, oops, let me jump back in this and just be at peace. So, Velocifier, from this conversation, what are your thoughts about the word in your life, or anything you want to share? I'm gonna go with Denise first. Denise, can you hear us?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's kind of like a I'll say what's coming up for me is a paradox. On the one hand, the Velocifier suggests energy, speed, and high energy and speed and moving ahead. And we can actually say that any breakthroughs and progress and positive developments might incorporate the speed, the energy, etc. But at the same time, the steadiness, the perseverance, kind of steady as she goes. And one of the things that I admire about Valerie is that, in my experience of Valerie, is someone who is very clear and comprehensive, and a perseverance that this too will occur, this too will be fulfilled without a whole lot of hoopla or anything like that. It's kind of like steady as she goes, which is, when we think about the great occurrences in human history, maybe both approaches are necessary. Velocifier is necessary to get things moving on the one hand, but on the other hand, when things don't work, when there are breakdowns, there's a steadiness and a determination, which may not be suggested by the term velocifier, but is also very, very important in our making progress. And so there's that thought. And then the other thought personally, I'm saying, Velocifier, I haven't been functioning in that realm. I'm kind of like, ooh, maybe it's time.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time. So I would say that Velocifier is critical, and then, if we think about the term fire, Marion, there are different types of fire, right?
Yes.
There's a steady fire that, when you put coals on and they burn for a long time. And then there's the raging fire, where there's an explosion. So maybe we can start thinking about Velocifier in terms of different types of fire.
Yeah. Awesome.
Wow. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Denise, for your input.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to share when we were talking about your experience on the plane, I missed the flight once. I was in the airport, but they changed the gate. And I remember going up to the gate, and this has to do with a way of relating to people, like not making them wrong. And this is what I'm going to assert. I remember going up to the gate. I said, boy, it looks empty. I wonder where everybody is. I didn't see him. So I go up to the gate. Oh, I'm ready to check in. And the gate attendant says, "Oh, your plane left 20 minutes ago." I was so shocked. I didn't even know what to say. And she said, "Oh yeah, we changed gates." I'm like, "Oh, I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, on my way back to New Orleans." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I just stood there. I was in such a shock. But what I'm going to say is, in that moment, maybe I gave her grace. But all I know is about 5 minutes later, she said, "You know what? There's a plane leaving in 10 minutes to New Orleans in first class." So I ended up flying. I ended up being put in first class.
There it is. Great, Scott.
Very good.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what can I say?
Yeah,
Love it. Love it.
that's a huge example of letting go and letting God.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, that was really
that was a
something.
great share. Thank you.
Mhm.
So Irma, what do you think about this philosophier?
This is an interesting word. I like the concept that Denise said of different types of fire. I believe in that. I would say I'm playing with it. A part of it, that kind of letting go and letting it be, for me, I mean, I've just come back, as you know, from the US, where I was dealing with a lot of health issues on different members of my family. Every time I thought something was dealt with one, then somebody else had an issue. And I've had a cousin who had to give a kidney to her older son, and she's my age. So when you're older, she's in her 70s, giving a kidney is a big deal. And she was the only one that was compatible to her oldest son. So she's fine. My mother had a cancer scare, so I've been dealing with cancer and getting her from Las Vegas to Los Angeles to the Kirk Cancer Center and surgery and so forth. And I think at one point, I was starting to feel really overwhelmed, like, okay, what can we do now? What do we have to do now? Okay, we gotta, and then I got to a point where what will be will be. There's only so much we can do. We can put things in place. We can try to make things a certain kind of way, but if it's her time, it's her time.
Yeah.
If this is to be a certain way. So I'm pretty mixed right now because I'm tired, I'm jet lagged, but there's a part of me that's spinning, trying to figure out what are the kinds of things I can do from here, trying to work with my sisters there. Just a series, an uncle who had a heart attack and he went into the hospital and then he had a stroke. I mean, it just seems like I want 2023 to be over.
Yeah.
You know, I've had it. So I like the idea when Denise was talking about different kinds of fire, because I don't think at the moment I have the velociphere. I think I'm tired. So I'm looking for the energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. I know one of the things, and I think you're on the right track, but just resting and giving it to God, let go.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
just write down the things that you want to do for yourself personally in your business, and see what things are most important.
Right. Yeah.
And just try to do it with equanimity. And I think after you rest some more, I slept all day Thursday. I got in at 3 a.m. and my body was just saying, you sleep. I got up, I ate a little bit, and I went right back to sleep. I had planned on walking and getting some of this New Orleans food off of my body. But that didn't happen. I did walk yesterday, But Thursday, I couldn't do it. I just zonked out.
Well, I'm not gambling, that's for sure.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, Marcia. You're on mute. Okay.
I just unmuted myself. When I think of the word velocity, I go right to the word vision. That I think if we have a vision, if we know what it is we feel like we've been called to do, it gives us the velocity to move forward. And so my vision has always been working with mentoring, that's my passion, and working with people in my community around health and improving health. And this semester, I'm placed at the Dr. Davies Senior Center, which is an all African American center for seniors. And I thought, I've never been here before. This is a brand new place. And I have students, nursing students, who are majoring in pediatrics. So I said, how is this going to work? They're not even interested in seniors. But as it turns out, they absolutely love this placement. They've made a connection with these seniors like I've never seen before. So it's working beautifully. Every week they give a different topic on health. They take their blood pressures, they do their glucose checks, and then they mentor them. They sit with each one of them and talk to them about their health issues. So it's really turned into a huge success. So that's the velocity that I see. The vision was working with these seniors, and now I have students who are passionate as I am. So it's working out very well. I think if you know where you're going, it gives you the speed to move forward. So that's how I use the word. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is so true. When you are passionate about what you're doing and you have this vision and you live into that vision as opposed to all of the craziness going on in our lives that will happen.
Yes.
It gives you that fire to keep going.
Exactly.
And doors open from that.
Yes. Yeah. So that's been my experience.
Yeah. Love that. And sometimes the passion and the vision gets to be complete. And then there's a new vision and you're not clear of that vision. And you're trying to get clear, but then you start to look for that, what inspires you now in your, you know, the next phase of your life, what really inspires you.
Exactly.
And using your gifts, talents, and it emerges, and then you use that fire to keep going. That was a great share too. Thank you. I love all of these shares. Okay, Connie, you're up next.
Well, I loved your post. I loved the affirmations that you gave. I told you that I shared it with my daughter. What I like, I believe in vision tremendously. And I also in accidental meetings, like you said. My friend was at Starbucks tutoring a student on her dissertation, and a part of it came in for the science part, and she's not good in science. But she heard a gentleman talking in the next to him, and he obviously knew science. So she asked him if he would help this student, and he did. Well, they became, she and this man became friends, and she introduced me to him. Well, I got to know him just a couple weeks ago, and he related, he's a genius, literally. I mean, unbelievable. But he was, he worked for the CIA. He knows 6 languages, but he was captured once and tortured. Almost every bone in his arms and neck and back, etc., and left in a concrete tunnel to die, enclosed. He couldn't even move. So, but what he did to survive was he let go. He said, I saw myself floating above, and I was so at peace. And I kept saying the word gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. And 3 days later, he was found. And today, he has he's an incredible inventor. He said that he could create a community hall, a clubhouse for us. He has invented a polymer that is it won't burn. It's wind resistant, no bugs, anything. And he can build a small house in a few hours. And so he's going to do that. He has another invention that turns sewage into electricity. That plant is in Turkey. And he's going over there because they had some problems with the earthquake. But he is just incredible, and he loves what we're doing and that we want to help. So it was very auspicious that this happened, but there are no accidents.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
amazing. Thank you so much, Connie.
Great.
That's really great. Thanks for sharing. Madeline, can you hear us?
Need you to unmute.
Can you unmute?
Yes. Hi, everyone.
Are you driving?
I am driving.
Oh.
And I had an experience last night that handled it very similar to you because as I mentioned before, I go once a week from Sacramento area to the Bay Area because we have our horses that we do therapy with. So late, I picked up my little dog, and I have a relatively new car, should have no problems with. And since I picked up my little guy, it overheated big time. So I'm like, I got off the freeway. It's like, okay, I don't know why this is happening. But thank God I was able to get my little dog and, figure it out. Tow truck, right? Uber. Everything is there for us that God provides. And thought, well, I'm going to go spend the night with my son who's in San Francisco, give me a chance to see him. So turning it into a positive instead of a negative, once again, right? It was frustrating. It was scary. But the Uber showed up the same time as the tow truck. My son took me to get a car this morning to rent. I'm on my way home now, safe and sound. And it was all about just letting go and say, okay, these things happen, but thank God we have Uber, we have tow trucks, we have everything at our disposal that God provides. And I do that too every morning. Like Marian said, I always start my day thanking God. And, life is challenging. So we need God every day of our lives. The other thing that I have noticed talking about this velocifier is that I'm in the fire right now with God, with my company. And I was running low in energy. And when I realized it's like, be careful what you ask for, it just might happen, right? So now it happened. Now I need to work harder, longer, and longer hours. And I'm 75, but I'm a young 75. But what happened is I started having health issues. And so it forced me to go to the doctor, get tests, found out I had some issues with my kidneys and my heart, but they're manageable. So because of that, I started managing them. Now I have the energy I need. And now, I'm ready to go. So if I hadn't done all that, right, had those health issues that I looked into, which I needed to look into because it would have gotten worse, it could have been really bad. So God's always working on our behalf. We just, I have the vision, the passion. This is God's work that we're doing. And he protected me. I have no doubt about it. So I'm very grateful.
That is so great. Thank you so much for sharing and listening to everyone share. We are powerful women, and we have the philosopher behind us. We have God behind us, and we rise above the circumstances and above that low vibration to a higher vibration. And the more we thank God, be grateful, forgive, we rise higher and higher. And as Denise said, not making people wrong, because that pulls away from you, because you're getting angry and frustrated with them, but not making them wrong. They are where they are, but we rise above that. And that's what makes us so powerful. And the word on the street, and I when I heard this, I was like in shock, but that Powerful Women International was one of the most prestige women's group in the world. Really? We are? But and here, hearing it from someone else and from other people is how we introduced. And it doesn't matter the things we go through. It matters how we handle it. How we are so graceful and how we giving back and doing God's work. So now I can understand it, but before it's like, what? So I'm just grateful for all of you, and that you all are chosen, and that you are doing great things and making a legacy. And I just thank you for it. So Joanne, do you want to say anything?
I want to say, yes. I want to say, I told this story once before, but I want to tell it again because it means so much. And there may be someone who's forgotten it will hear it now and go, oh yes, or maybe someone on the call who didn't hear it before. But it really affected my life big time. And even though I'd written the book where I talk about gratitude, expressing gratitude, it really, really brought it home for me when I spoke at a church one time and met with someone afterwards, and he was asking me a bunch of questions, and I showed him a little book that I had that someone had given me that was just an independently even made kind of book, not published by a publisher, but it was independent, but had some really good stuff in it, really, really good. And he looked at it and wanted to know if he could keep it for a while and study it and so on. I said, well, so long as you don't lose it, I want it back. I must have that book back. It's very important for me to have it back. And he said, I won't lose it. I promise you, I'll take care of it. So as long as you take care of it, and the next time I'm here, I want it back. And it wasn't like, I mean, we were Houston. If you know how big Houston is, and I am north of Houston, and this person the church I was at was south of Houston. So it's not like, oh, I can just drive over and get it. And, no, I got invited to speak at someone's house one time about gratitude. And it was speak on a Sunday. And I said, well, okay, this is perfect. I'll just go by that church, go to church there, meet the guy, and get my book back. Because it had been several months. I went to church, talked to people, met with this guy afterwards, and he said, oh, that's right. I mentioned the book and wanted it back. And he said, oh, that's right. Oh, I don't know where it is. And I said, well, you promised me you'd keep up with it and you'd hold on to it and get it back for me. He said, well, I don't know. I have no idea. I said, can you go look? You also said you would keep it there in your living room. He said, oh. So he went and looked and was gone for a while. And finally he came back, which gave me plenty of time to talk to people. It was okay. I wasn't upset. But I got upset when he came back and told me he couldn't find the book. And I said, I told you it was a very important book to me. And I didn't really want to leave it with you because I was afraid something like this might happen, but you promised me you would take care of it. I want that book. It's very important to me. And he said, well, I looked and looked. I don't know where it is. I don't know what happened. And so rather than get mad and holler at him, I said, okay, thank you. And I left and was driving over to my meeting where I was going to speak at this person's house. And as I was driving, I got angrier and angrier and angrier and angrier, and I got to where I almost couldn't drive. And finally I said, oh God, what do I do? What do I do? I'm so angry. I can't go speak. I can't go speak about gratitude if I'm this angry. What do I do? And God said, I mean, really, truly, I heard God say to me, there's a parking lot right there. Pull into that parking lot. Pull into a parking space and stop and breathe. And then write down at least 10, hopefully 15 or 20 things you're grateful for. Write down 10, 15 or 20 things you're grateful for, and then let me know when you're done with it. I did that. I talked to God again. And you know what? It completely cleared my anger. Just writing down all that gratitude and then going through it and thinking about it and then talking with God about it. It completely cleared my anger. And I learned from that things that got said here today. I learned, yes, I also teach starting your day with gratitude. Starting your day with gratitude. And then find times if there's something not working right, some problem, stop and start expressing some gratitude rather than getting angry and flying off the handle and wanting to hit somebody. Stop and start thinking about all that you're grateful for and thank God for all that God has given you to be grateful for. And that's the kind of thing that makes forgiveness easy. We think forgiveness is difficult, but it's easy when you're expressing gratitude all the time. That's what philosophy allows us to do. That's what makes it such a great word. And it's just really, really good. I think this is what we've done here today has been such a good thing. And I cannot stress enough, I learned from that event that happened because, oh my goodness, I was so angry. Because that book really meant something to me. And I learned, though, the power of gratitude. And I have used it so many times since then, when something has gone wrong, when something hadn't happened, when I assure you, it's what has kept my husband and me together. I don't know if I've said, I think I've said this before. We've been married 56 years now.
Wow.
And I'm going for 60. He's talking sometimes like he might not make it that long, but I'm going for 60 years, but 56 years together, when you've had as many fights as we've had, that's pretty amazing. But it's because I can express gratitude. That makes all the difference in the world. Express gratitude daily, many times a day, and boy, it changes everything. Everything.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joanne.
You're welcome.
All of the input today and what all of you have shared has been really great. Najia has just joined us. Najia moved from Sacramento to Austin, Texas. Sacramento, California, to Austin, Texas. And she's with her son and daughter-in-law and a grandson and having a blast. Najia, are you able to hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great. Praise God. I just thank God for this opportunity to be before so many grateful women, godly women who loves God and that love each other. And we keep in touch with everyone. I'm so glad you kept in touch with me, because it's really trying with this move, and I'm still in the process of it, and I'm still waiting on the hospitals to do the surgery, which they have been postponing until the 15th of November. So in a couple of weeks, I guess I'll have this knee removed and things can settle down for me. But I really appreciate that you didn't give up on me, that you stuck in there with me and continue to stick with me. Thank you, Mariam, for calling me. I've just been so busy with hospital visits and trying to get settled. I really missed you guys, thought about you a lot of times. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can close my door and block that noise.
So while you're doing that, Najee, our word for today is velocifier. And what it actually means is going to a higher frequency when things happen, letting go and letting God, being grateful and thankful. And as Denise said, we got to do an article on that one, not making people wrong. And that's it, when we can gravitate above the craziness and get what God is doing, because we will go through things. Yes. And velocifier is who we are. That I love that word. Marion chose that, but we rise above the circumstances no matter what they are. And we still here.
I'm grateful for the young lady who just spoke about the gratefulness and how to rise above it, the anger. That was for me. That is for me. And I really appreciate her story about her books, because I feel the same way about my books. I don't loan them out. I don't loan them out anymore. You know, if somebody want to read it, they're going to have to go buy it, because you know, it's just so precious to me, that knowledge, to have that knowledge and be able to go to your book and get the knowledge you need. So thank you so much for that explanation. I'm going to be using that. Can I use it? Can I use your story?
Yes, yes, please do. And please, if you want to say young lady, you're welcome to, but I'm 80 years old.
Well, I'm 76, so you don't have that much on me. You as old as you think. Okay. God told me to not pay attention to my age anymore. So I'm not paying attention to it. I feel like I'm 46.
Great, great. Wow. Terrific.
It's so good to see each one of you, and I'm just really grateful to be a part of your group. And you know, there's a lot of things I want to do. I hope we can get back to meeting each other in person. I look forward to the travel now. Let me go. Where are you having it at? Louisiana? I'm on my way.
Yes.
I just want to get with you guys and touch you and hug on you. Yeah. And I'm just grateful to be a part of this group.
Yeah, I'm just grateful to have all of you. So Tuesday at 10 Pacific time, we're going to do a Zoom meeting. All of you are welcome to attend to recap what we've done, to share what we've done in New Orleans. It's focused on the New Orleans event, and we're not doing a conference. And then we made a decision not to do both days, to just do the 31st and November 1st. We were going to do, but we're going to just do the Tuesday at 10 Pacific time, focused on the New Orleans event, what we've done with the schools, what we've done with the sheriff's office, the intentions, with the Stoneproof home, everything that I'm sorry, my head's itching. Everything we've done with New Orleans, and getting some input from all of you. So if that works for you, please, we're sending out the Zoom link by Monday, between now and Monday. So we can recap, and we do intend to do begin some live events, Nigeria, next year.
Oh, great.
For San Francisco, for the Houston area, and for New Orleans for sure. We may be doing some other areas as well, but right now those are the three that I know. And you close to New Orleans. Closer
Yeah.
to New Orleans and
And
then
Houston. I think I'm
just
in
don't fly Frontier.
no frontiers. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that later. I
Okay.
shared with the ladies about that was a craziness. But yeah, we intend to do some live events, maybe over there in Florida. Too. My granddaughter is now stationed in Florida. She's in Pensacola. How far are you from Pensacola, Connie?
9 hours.
Okay. Well, that would be
That's where I was born.
yeah. I hear relatives in Pensacola.
Beautiful.
My granddaughter is in the Navy. And
Beautiful beaches.
yes, she's training to be a weapon and missile specialist, and she can't share anything. She's
Right.
yeah,
Top secret.
yeah, top
Absolutely.
secret everything. And she's
Yeah.
so tiny, it's like, I don't know, just watching her saying, oh no, classified, can't talk about
She's
that.
not tiny, but she's a powerful woman.
Yes,
Yeah,
she is.
she is. She's something
Yeah.
else.
I did want.
You had your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to say to Joanne that if that book is out there, I'm a really, really, really good researcher. And if you send me the name of it and everything, the date that you can remember, I'll try and find it for you.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Did she hear you?
Joanne, did you hear Connie?
Yes, you're talking about my book.
The
Yes.
book that the man had.
They got lost.
The one the guy took.
Oh, the one that, yeah.
If you could remember the name.
No, I don't. No,
Okay.
I don't. It wasn't something that was out in public anyway. That was why I was so upset. It was something that someone made themselves, got it print. They did their own work on it and never made more than a few copies. And that's why I was.
Yeah, what was the do you remember around the year it was made? And the name of
problem is I don't remember the name of it.
The name of the person?
No.
Okay.
No.
What were the kind of things that was in it that made you so that were so powerful?
Oh goodness, things like what I ended up writing about and talking about, but things that had to do with how to stay calm when everything was going bad and wrong around you, when you were terrible things were being said about you, when you were being laughed at and made fun of, how to stay calm and just allow it, take it, and don't get into it at all. Don't even get upset. That
Another book like that, especially for children, because definitely, well, I know for myself, I was bullied a lot in school. I lost. I didn't even when I was put into second grade. I was in second grade, and they found out I had lived so many places. They put me back into first grade in front of the line going into mass. And so the whole student body got to see me demoted. Anyway, I didn't even know my last name. So I was bullied a lot. And finally someone said enough, and she stood up for me. But I can tell you that children really, really need that. But this is why I'm so adamant about helping people that, that really start out rough. Both I lost my twin brother and my stepbrother, and my mother committed suicide. So I really, really know that when you start out rough, boy, you should be really grateful if you get someone, even though they're in their 50s, to adopt you and love you.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, I got made fun of. We were in small towns and my father was a pastor, and I mean, kids love in school, they love to say, oh, preacher's kid, preacher's kid. I'm telling on you, preacher's kid. Oh, you're in trouble, preacher's kid. Oh, you're in trouble. Preacher's kid can't do that. That was
Yep.
nonsense almost.
Yeah. Hard being a kid sometimes, but even more so today because they can do it online and people do what, without getting caught. But anyway, bullying and being able to rise above is truly one of the best.
Yes.
It makes people very, very resilient.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But also when you do rise above, it creates more love within you. Love, God, it allows you to open up more to God and to hear God and to be one with God. You
Yes.
rise above the bullying and everything. You let it go and go on.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
think about
Not so much when you're a little kid.
No.
Well,
But
we have to be trained.
yes,
And
Yeah.
that's it.
train
If the parents,
the scripture say, train the child in the way it should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it.
Yeah, you gotta be
You gotta
loved
train it.
to know how to give love
Right.
at least at some point. But anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that, but I wanted to help you find that bullying thing. I think it would be a wonderful book to have for kids and for adults. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Marion, you have your hand raised?
Yeah. When Joanne was talking about anger, and a lot of times, we're living in a chaotic world. We got things coming at us all day long, whether it's texts or emails or phone calls. And a lot of times it's frustrating and you have such a bad day. But think about this. When they were basically telling Jesus he was wrong, he was a liar, we don't believe it. And guess what? We're going to crucify you for it. And you know what he did? He didn't say, I hate you, I curse you, I send you to hell because I have the power to do it. No. What did he say? Father, please forgive them. They know not what they do.
right.
And like Joanne said, and like Madeline said, you can be going along and everything will go wrong. But as Valerie said, it's all about raising our frequency. We may be in the world, but we're not of it. If we're of it, then we're going to be shooting daggers at each other.
Yeah.
We're going to be, totally offended and just never want to talk to that person again. Mm-hmm. And it's like, wait a second, you got to step back and say, okay, if the Lord is in control of this, there's a reason why this is happening. And there's either a lesson to be learned or something I have to give back. And we have to humble ourselves enough to say, okay, Lord, I give it to you.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
So much.
Yes.
This has been a really great call. I wanted to also share that when we spoke to the high school in the lower ninth ward, they asked that we when we asked what we could do, they asked that we help this family. And it's a mother with 3 kids. And from talking to the mom, I don't think she's very literate, but she's a good person, really trying and struggling. And we were able to get her $200 with the grace of Denise Strong, donated the money to the family, and they really needed it because the mom was asking for money for Uber so she could get to work, and they didn't have food. And so that was huge. And I'm thinking about that too, because Denise, the young man that I met at the school, so she had the 3 kids are all high school students, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. And the 11th grader I met, and such a charming, warm young man who is playing both football and basketball. And he just texted me during this call a couple of minutes ago and said, hello, Miss Valerie, how are you doing? And I said, hello. I said, do you need anything? He said, I hate to ask, but could you please cash at me $5? I'm at a game and I want a drink. And my brother-in-law donated $20 for him. So I was able to give him the $20, and he's so tickled. He said, wow.
Yeah.
So that just happened during this call. And it just feels so good to make someone else happy. So we are going to look at working with this family long-term and helping them with the, housing, the Section 8 and all of those things that they need. So I just wanted to share.
Valerie, is it possible for us to just put a little pot together from us, and we just put whatever we can put in there to give that family?
Yes.
And it would be something they could have on a continuous basis. We just make a little donation to them.
Sure.
So things like that they can take care of. They don't have to ask for money to get water. I mean, I've been there, so I understand where they're coming from. Yeah. So I would like to, if you're going to do that, I like to just donate $50 to them.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yes.
And do I send it to you?
Yeah, you can just Cash App it to me, and then I'll also send you a receipt for it.
Okay. Thank you. And I challenge anyone else that might want to send, $1 or $2. It don't matter, just that we send them some money on a continuous basis. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really excited about what we're doing and giving back and making a difference. We're going to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
We are making the world a better place.
Yes, we are making the world a better place.
Yes, we are.
We are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Did you record this call?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Marion reminded me, so I'm really happy
Good.
about that.
Great. Terrific. I look forward to hearing it again. Yeah, great.
Does anyone have anything else to say or acknowledge or? Okay. Marcia, would you pray us out and pray for those who are not feeling well? Paula is one of them that couldn't be on the call.
Okay. Heavenly Father, we come together this morning to first and foremost give you praise and thank you for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. We've learned today about the important word of velocity, moving forward with speed. Let us continue to have the energy, the strength, the health to move forward with speed on all the individual missions that we possess, dear God. You've given us visions, you've given us a word, you've given us encouragement, and we thank you in advance for everything that you've done. And please make the crooked path straight. Go before us and make it straight. We pray for all of our members, those who are not feeling well and those who did not make the call today. Touch them in a special way, dear God. You know their needs. Bless them with your mighty strength. And bless all of those who joined us this morning to give us the encouragement to keep moving forward, to keep having that vision, to keep changing the world. It's one small step at a time. We thank you in advance and bless this entire meeting and bless the meetings that we are planning in advance, that we will be able to touch somebody's life. We will be able to make a difference in their lives. And you will, in fact, make a difference in ours as we move forward. We thank you in advance, dear God, for all the things the blessings you bestowed upon us. And we're ending this meeting with a prayer and gratitude. And we look forward to coming together again, to see one another again, to encourage one another again. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank
Now,
you.
I would just suggest that you use that word velocifier, and also that you take on what Denise said, not making people wrong, like step back from it
Yeah.
and let them be who they are, and you rise above that situation, not making anyone wrong, and share that with us.
Yeah.
You know, on the next call and Maren, remind us that when we get to the next call, which is November the 18th, because of we're doing it earlier. Next call is November the 18th at 10 Pacific time, 12 Central. Yes. So because it the holidays, the Thanksgiving holiday, we're gonna do it a little earlier. And then December, I think 16th, we're doing that earlier because of the holidays as well. So put those on your calendar. But Marion, remind us to share that from this call, how we didn't make people wrong, like a situation or a few situations where you would have made them wrong, but you decided to rise above it and not make them wrong.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
All right.
Great.
Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And
Thank you.
we'll talk. Hopefully everyone could be on the call Tuesday. I'll send out that information.
Okay. Thank you.
Terrific.
Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.
All
All
right.
right, you too. Najia, call me when you get a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good to
Au
see you.
revoir.
Au revoir. Oh. Feel better, Joanne. Oh. So good to see you, Najia. Thank you for
You
making
too.
it.
Thank you for calling me.
Of course, honey.
Yeah, I said, Marion, I know you told Najia last night, but she gets really busy. So call her and remind her.
Yes, and she did, and I did. I'm
Oh.
so glad. Thank you. And I love the topic today.
I did too.
I think that was great. And I made notes because I'm gonna use that.
Velocifier.
Mhm.
It's in the
I'm gonna use
newsletter.
that. Yeah.
Love it.
You
Oh.
all look good. You all look very good. It's good to see you and to engage with you once again. I'm gonna try to keep up, because we got a lot of work to do. But
Yeah, we
God's got a reason for us to be together. He put us together, and we have
For a
to
reason.
honor
Yes,
that.
indeed.
It's a reason, and it's in the future. And thank you for saying that we're going to rise above. I like that. When
Yeah.
don't say they're wrong, just step back. And you've helped me
Right.
with that once before, Valerie.
Yeah.
And it did work, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to teach it to my grandson. I think that's a skill that he needs to learn about as he gets older. And
Yeah, you know what? Why
this
you
world.
saying that, Najia, and that's a great thing. I think that we should incorporate that into the program we're doing for even for the prisoners. But I was thinking
Yes.
for the schools, for the kids.
Yes,
How you
that's
can
something
step
they
back,
need
not
to
make
get.
it because you're
If
on
they
a higher
can-
frequency.
If they can do all this other technology and do all that other stuff, why not have something like this
Yes,
to teach them?
exactly.
They're learning all this negative stuff. We're going to start replacing the negative stuff with the positive and
Yes,
help
we
them
are.
to become strong. As they grow up, they'll start using it, and it'll be a part of who they are and their personality. Because we gave them something. What was the word? Gratitude? No, it was another word. I can't remember what it was that you used.
Being thankful was one.
And grateful, and the one that you open the meeting up with.
Velocifier?
Yes, that word. I'm gonna study that word.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
that's
gonna turn the recording off right now.
Okay.